God, technology, man. Okay, well, anyways, wanted to welcome everybody to episode 22 of Sprites, Bytes, and Pixels. We've got myself, we've got Wilson, we've got our special guest John back, and we're here to talk about video games. Yay! It feels like it's been a long time since we did this, but it's only been 2 weeks if we look at our last episode.
Yeah, but for us, it's really been about, I want to say a month, because, they don't know anything about what's going on with me right now.
Yeah, so what's going on with you, Wilson? What's happening?
So about a month ago, I got into I was about to say I got into an accident. That's stupid. I got into a workplace. I had a workplace injury, like an injury that happened at work. I work in logistics, so I do a lot of like warehouse stuff, lifting, stuff like that. And I ended up, I lift always. I always try lifting the right way with my knees bent, like you're supposed to. You always lift with your knees. You don't lift with your back. And I guess I just strained myself too much when I was coming back up after lifting a box and tweaked my back. So I'm in physiotherapy. I'm doing like exercises at home, but I'm at home. I'm at home. I've been home for like the last month. And I'm not going nuts yet, but it's getting to a point where I think I'm going to be going back to work soon on like modified duties.
Okay.
For like a couple days of the week, but it's still going to be a long process. Like you'll probably see me constantly adjusting myself while I'm sitting here.
Yeah. Okay.
Wilson.
Yeah.
While you're at home in that basement, do you have anything to keep you occupied?
I was going to say
absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. There's nothing at all to keep me occupied.
So what you're saying is currently
nothing at all.
You're not playing any games right now, Wilson. So you have nothing to share with us about the games you've been playing lately.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But how about we let John go first?
Oh, true. Go, John.
I've been playing on the PlayStation 2. I've been playing Gradius 5.
Ooh.
Which is...
How is that?
It is the best Gradius.
Really?
Yep. It was developed by Treasure, who also did Radiant Silvergun and Ikaruga. And it's not the longest Gradius. It's 8 stages, but it is the most exciting. Like every level is just crazy. And the way they structured the game, I mean, like any shooter, you memorize it, you get better each time you play through. But for every hour you play, they give you another credit. So every run or two, you get to go further, whether it's from memorizing the game, getting more skillful at it, or just having another credit to play with.
So for somebody that's a Gradius noob, would you say that it's similar to like Space Invaders, or how's the game?
I would say it's closer to R-Type.
Oh, I haven't even played R-Type. So...
Right, but R-Type came after Gradius. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Gradius is sort of the prototypical side-scrolling shoot-'em-up.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Scramble was the original, which is also by Konami. But the story goes, it was being developed as a sequel to Scramble, and they really wanted to make a side-scrolling version of Xevious, which was the #1 shooter at the time.
I don't like Xevious at all.
Yeah. No, Gradius is way more fun than Xevious.
Yeah, I don't like Xevious.
And it just evolved, and it got weirder and weirder. And the designer was this young guy who had never designed a video game before. So they experimented with the power-up system. They got really wacky with the locations and came up with this crazy shoot-'em-up that every other developer said, we want to make our own Gradius, including IRAM, who made R-Type.
Nice.
Well, isn't Gradius the game, like, I can never remember the difference. Which one between R-Type and Gradius has more of the, like, organic-looking enemies?
They both have organic levels. R-Type definitely has, like, the really gruesome bosses, whereas Gradius's bosses tend to be just these big mechanical things. But I mean, as the Gradius series goes on, you get more and more gross stuff. And Salamander, which was the spin-off of Gradius, they called it Life Force in North America.
Yeah.
that game, the first level is like the biological gross level.
Okay, so maybe it is Gradius that I'm thinking of. That's more, got the more like, biological looking enemies.
Cool.
The moment you said it was developed by Treasure, I was like, okay, say no more, because Treasure are phenomenal. I can't really think of any bad Treasure game. I know some people might say Mischief Makers, but I think Mischief Makers is still really cool for what it is. Unfortunately, it was on a N64, so maybe that's why
Best
not allowed.
system ever.
Huh?
Best system ever made.
So have you played Mischief Makers?
No, I haven't. No.
Oh, okay.
But
like,
this is your homework for the week, Robin, is to play Mischief Makers.
And Gradius and Xevious.
Yeah.
And
Well, no,
Yep.
Yeah.
And
you got to work on your N64 portfolio.
I do.
Yeah, for when we do our N64 episode, and like, you know,
As episode 64.
yo,
There you go.
maybe it'll be the Ultra episode,
The U64 episode. There you go.
the U64.
Yeah. What are you playing, Wilson?
Oh, so I went back to Dragon Quest. I've been playing Dragon Quest 11. Oh God, how can I say this?
You love the game. You haven't stopped playing.
I don't want to spoil anything.
Don't spoil anything.
Because I'm still playing it. I beat the game, got the credits, but you get once you beat the game, there's an opportunity to do something, and I'm on like a whole different quest now.
So you're saying the game has post-game content?
See, I wouldn't call it post-game content. This is it, because I was gonna say it's got like some post-game content, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels like the other ending doesn't matter. Like the ending that I got, it feels like that doesn't matter, and this new one they are going to is like the more important one.
Is this like Final Fantasy where you accept Garland's offer and the game ends 5 minutes in?
No.
Okay.
No, because I put like, when I beat the game, I was at 104 hours. And now I believe I'm at almost 130. Bye, Robin.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm just letting my dog out.
Okay. What'd you say, John?
That's a lot.
Yeah. It's really, like, I was really surprised by this ending. I thought it was just going to be like, you know, another half an hour, you know, maybe 2 hours of like this other thing. And then it just blew up.
I know the second Lunar game's kind of like that.
I have played a lot of games, and I have never, ever seen a game like Dragon Quest 11 do what I'm experiencing. It's really, really cool. And if you haven't played Dragon Quest 11, give it a shot. You'll still have no idea what I'm talking about. And it's really, really cool.
Awesome. Well, I am playing a couple of things. The first thing I'm playing is I'm playing in a fantasy baseball league with John, and I'm very happy to announce that, you know, I was in 11th place out of 13th place like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and now I have clawed, scratched, traded, waiver wire, picked up my way back up to 3rd place, and I'm gunning for 2nd. So hopefully my team continues to perform well, and I can make it into like the top 2. That's my goal. Aside from that, I'm also playing God of War on the PS4. Still loving it. I'm not pumping as much time into it as I did when I was playing Horizon Zero Dawn. I feel like I play maybe 2 hours a week, 2 or 3 hours a week. That's just because like life is crazy busy right now, so I haven't had a chance to do a lot of gaming. But without giving anything away, I'm at a stage where I can now travel using portals. So that's cool. I don't know if you guys have played the game, but that's where I'm at.
That will save you some time.
That will save me a lot of time. And
It
let's
does take a lot of time because the exploration before the portals is, I don't want to say tedious, but it's a bit long to get from one point to another. But the portals,
yeah, and Wilson, ever since you brought up the point that the entire game is shown from like Kratos's point of view, that's all I've been focused on.
isn't
like,
that awesome?
Scenes, you look at like combat scenes, everything. If he's just running around, it's all from his perspective. So that's really
One take. I told you the game is one take. It's amazing. You've never seen it. I bet you've never seen a video game do that.
I never noticed until you brought it up, and now I'm like, okay, this is actually really cool. There's no cut. It's just him.
Yep.
Sweet.
It's a really cool idea.
Yep. Awesome. So let's talk about what our episode is today. So initially we came up with this idea when it was Wilson's birthday. So happy belated birthday once again, Wilson. I know you're turning like 29, so it's a good year. It's an excellent year. But the topic today is to talk about anniversaries. So it's like anniversary things that maybe gaming companies do when it comes down to an anniversary for a specific game, or maybe anniversary boxes, anniversary content that goes out. So yeah, we're just gonna be talking about interesting anniversaries, especially given that this is one of the biggest video game franchises, trading card game franchises, television shows anniversaries ever, and that is Pokemon's 25th. That's happening in October.
Actually, believe it or not, because this is another episode that I had to do some research on because I'm terrible with years, anniversaries, except for my own, of course. Birthdays, like I've never been able to pinpoint years with occurrences. It's probably one of my worst. I don't want to call it a quality. It's like just one of my worst traits, I guess. But this year, when I researched, 2021 has a lot of anniversaries going on, and that really surprised me because I kept typing in past video game anniversaries, and all it kept wanting to tell me is, "Hey, 2021 got a lot of shit going on right now." I was like, "Whoa, okay, all right, okay, chill."
If I may, I've compiled a list of anniversaries just going back to June of other years.
So is this a 5-year list, a 10-year list?
Well, let's start with 1981.
Oh, we're going way back.
Yeah, this is the 40-year anniversary of Frogger and Ultima.
So, are they doing anything for these anniversaries? Because that's more the focus.
Yeah, we're talking about these games on Sprites, Spikes, and Pixels. I mean, these games came out before any of us were born. Can you imagine?
40 years. So that in what was that? 19. I want to say 1982, but no, sorry, 1980 and 1981. My apologies. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just imagining going into an arcade and seeing a Frogger machine and being blown away by the amount of colors and moving things on screen. Just what a different experience that would be to now.
Well, to be quite honest, like if I was playing Frogger, if I had an opportunity to just play Frogger on a console, and it was like one of the only games I had back then, I probably would have enjoyed it. Enjoyed my time with it because Frogger is pretty fun. Like in like the way you have to navigate across these things and like find the right path at the right time. I dig.
No, I'm not saying that Frogger is not an impressive game. I mean, you would have to go to an arcade to play this. You would have to wait in line for your turn to play Frogger. Right? and judging by its resilience, it was a huge hit.
Ultima not so much though. I don't. When was the last Ultima game released? Like I think, what is it? PS2, not PS2, like Super Nintendo. I don't even know. It's been a very long time since I saw that.
I'm thinking right now. Well, Ultima Online, wouldn't that be the last technically Ultima related title?
Let me check.
Now, if I'm correct, Ultima was a series created by Richard Garriott, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Memory.
And Richard Garriott was what was he called? What was he deemed, or what did he call himself? Like the king of fantasy, or I don't know, something like that, because that's what he was. Like he did all of these different Ultima games, and each one was like some were terrible, but it was supposed to be like each one was better than the other. I think when it got to like the later ones is when they started becoming a little garbage and taking advantage of the story, like not utilizing the elements of the story from like what happened in the past. Like say you were playing Zelda and name a character from Zelda, not the main character. Name a character from Zelda.
Error.
Fuck off. Name
Guardian.
You guys are the worst. Okay. I'll say what's her name?
Zelda.
No. Impa. Zelda's like what was it? She was like her guardian or something.
Is she in any of the games, or is she just like in the lore?
No. She's in the games. Screw it. I'll just say Link. All right. I'll just say Link to get past this. Imagine you're playing a Zelda game and Link dies like near the end of the game. In like the next Zelda game, Link is back to life. And this is like not, years or centuries later. This
I
is
was gonna say, because that's sort of the plot of every Zelda game, right? Is that Link is dead and there's a new Link.
Well, that's why I'm saying, imagine it's not centuries later. It's like, a couple years down the road. And in the next Zelda game, Link is alive. Like that's kind of like what Ultima started doing with certain things. And it kind of destroyed the franchise. There's a really good he was a YouTube creator, but he's got his own website now. He calls himself Spoony One. He did a really good series on Ultima and like how it changed, and what each game was about. And it's really, really entertaining. I've watched it many times, and we're talking like I think there's 8 different Ultimas. So there were like not including the Super Nintendo ones. I think there were 8 different Ultimas, 7 or 8. And I think each episode was like 40 minutes or like 40 minutes to like an hour. So you're talking like a good 7-8 hours of content. And I've watched this series like many times, and it's pretty damn good.
So what we're saying is that when it comes to anniversaries, there's games that have standed the test of time, such as Frogger, and then there's games that have kind of not, such as Ultima, where in Ultima's case, their producer or their creator ends up becoming an astronaut, spends 11 days, 20 hours, and 35 minutes in space, and washes his hands away from his franchise.
Yeah, I believe Richard Garriott was the first civilian to go out into space.
Interesting. Your gaming knowledge is insane, man. It is ridiculous.
Okay, I'm going to go down the list a bit faster.
Okay.
1986, we have the Japanese release of Super Mario Bros. 2, The Lost Levels. 1991, we have the United States release of Super Mario Bros. 3. We also have Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's a big one.
Yep. 1996, we have 2 biggies. This is all June 1996. We have Super Mario 64 for consoles.
Loved it.
And for PC, we have Quake.
Like the first Quake ever?
First Quake ever.
Okay, nice.
And let's see. 2011, we have an indie game I like, Jamestown, Legend of the Lost Colony. And then in 2016, we have the 5-year anniversary of Mighty Number 9.
That's not an. Who cares? Nobody cares about Mighty Number 9.
The great shame of the crowdfunding world.
Yeah,
which is something we'll be talking about shortly.
Yes.
Yes.
Were you stoked? Were you one of those people that was stoked to try Mighty Number 9, John? When
I was all in
on
Mighty Number 9.
Did you support the Kickstarter?
Oh yeah, no,
Oh wow.
I gave them way too much money,
How much money
and
did you give them?
hundreds and hundreds.
Holy.
And here's the sad thing: when I found out that the Wii U version was so buggy that it could break your console, I was afraid to play the game, so I still haven't played it.
Oh,
I haven't played either. I believe I have it for PS4. It was on PS4, right?
Yeah, well, they tried to get on everything. I mean, we'll talk about this later, but yeah.
in the other episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
Yeah. So it's like, so when we talk about like anniversaries, there's a few different factors that I think about that help keep these like franchises relevant. One I think is they continually push out new content on a consistent basis. So new systems, new franchise level. Like it's like Zelda, the original, all the way down to Breath of the Wild. You know, there's been a lot of different Zeldas through the years. But then one thing I also think is really interesting when it comes to anniversaries is anniversary editions of specific games. Now, are there any that stand out to you guys? Any that you picked up that you were like, this is awesome?
Yep.
If so, what were they?
The Kirby Dream Collection for the Nintendo Wii.
Oh, that was a nice one. I like the packaging on that.
Yes, and that's the thing. Like when the Kirby Dream Collection came out, a lot of people started comparing other anniversary collections to that because the Kirby Dream Collection was like a little bit more difficult to compete with, just in the way that the packaging was done, what was provided, and what was placed on the disc. Like the disc had like, I don't want. Did it have all the good Kirby games? I think some people say that Kirby's Dream Land 3 isn't that good, but it's also
all right.
It's also really expensive. So if you want to play Kirby's Dream Land 3, you're gonna pay like a good, what is it, like 120, 150 bucks?
Yeah, for Super Nintendo, right?
Yeah. It's one of the heavies now, you know, for Super Nintendo. And to have it on the Kirby's Dream Collection, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I can quickly look up what it came with because I actually, during my research, I saved some of my selections. So
I know it had the Game Boy games, Kirby's Dream Land 1 and 2.
It had the soundtrack, came with the soundtrack,
It had Kirby's Adventure.
So
and I think it had the N64 game as well. I think that was it, and Dreamland 3. And
you forgot Superstar.
It didn't have Superstar, or did it?
It did.
Okay.
Yeah. So it came with Kirby's Dream Land, Kirby's Adventure, Kirby's Dream Land 2, Kirby's Superstar, Kirby's Dream Land 3, and Kirby 64 to Crystal Shards. So 2 Game Boy games, 1 Nintendo game, and 2 Super Nintendo games, and 1 64 game. So like, you know, across like 4 different platforms, you had 6 games.
It's a good collection.
Yeah, it's a great collection, and also it just looks really nice. It's a nice looking collection. Like it comes with like a book of like you know, to celebrate the anthology or the legacy of Kirby, soundtrack, just nice packaging, and that's kind of like what an anniversary collection should look like.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
for me, there's one that stands out to me, and it's a franchise that I think doesn't get as much love as it should, and that is Devil May Cry. So Devil May Cry came out with the 5th anniversary on the PS4, and I loved the franchise growing up. So I played Devil May Cry 1, powered through it, Devil May Cry 2. Didn't really get into Devil May Cry 3 that much, but when the anniversary edition came out, I just bought the whole set, and I've kept it sealed ever since because at the time it was a really important franchise to me. So that was really cool. I pulled up a list of a couple other really interesting ones and different ways that different companies develop these kind of anniversary games. So when you guys think about Pac-Man, what do you think about?
Well, nowadays I think about Pac-Man Versus.
Okay. But do you guys think about like arcades? Does that spring into your mind?
Oh yeah.
Well, one cool thing that I found is that Pac-Man has a 40th anniversary edition arcade machine that they partnered with Arcade 1-Up for. So I think that just takes Pac-Man all the way back to your point, John, of 1981 going into an arcade, playing these games for the first time, pumping in quarters, and kind of reliving that feeling. I think that's a really integral part of any sort of an anniversary is that like nostalgia feeling. So I think Arcade One Up did a great job with that. Um, Another one that I thought was pretty cool, and I honestly don't even know why it really got an anniversary edition, is Bully. So have you guys ever played that game on the PS2?
I haven't. I'm familiar with it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like a younger Grand Theft Auto in a way.
Yeah.
But it adds a lot of different like elements as well. Like you take classes and you have to like answer questions, and
Yeah.
there's a schedule.
Yeah, so it's developed by Rockstar Games, came out in 2006, and then they launched a Bully Anniversary Edition in 2016. And I'm like, I think about all of the great games that have been developed through the years. Never thought that Bully would need a 10th Anniversary Edition.
Well, I think to some extent it's just marketing.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
it is. It is.
They say, we have this re-release we're doing. It happens to be 10 years. We'll call it the Anniversary Edition.
Yes. No, that's a very good point.
Have you played?
I mean,
No?
No, I've never played it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm the only one that's played it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. But I watched some YouTube videos of it, and yeah, it seems like a younger Grand Theft Auto. And then the only other one that I thought was different or kind of like interesting is Back to the Future still pumping out games. So there was a Back to the Future, the game 30th anniversary edition that was released on the PS4.
So
right.
This is the Telltale Games one before they really became Telltale Games?
Yeah.
Yes, that is the one.
What I like is that we are further in the future now than Back to the Future's future was.
We still don't have hoverboard. We still don't have the hoverboard, man.
I mean, technically there are hoverboards. They're self-driving cars.
But the Cubs did win the World Series.
Oh, that's true. They did.
My personal favorite, like my most elaborate anniversary collection I have for anything is the Street Fighter 25th anniversary.
What was in that?
It has a physical copy of Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition and Street Fighter Cross Tekken on the same disc. Or it might be two discs in one package, in one Blu-ray case. And then it has digital copies of all of the alpha games, Street Fighter 3 Online. It has, I forget if it's like 8 or 10 soundtrack CDs, a Rue figurine, the Street Fighter animated movie on Blu-ray, the Street Fighter animated television show on Blu-ray,
Oh my God.
making of Street Fighter documentary, and Rue's belt. So you can wear his karate belt and go out into the streets and fight people. It's got a huge box. It's the most elaborate thing I've ever bought as far as like a single game like edition. It's huge.
I'm looking at it on Google, and
it's like this big.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff they packed in there.
Yeah.
Wait, what is this for?
PlayStation 3.
I don't think I've ever heard of this.
It looks massive, man.
Yeah. No,
I thought you were just talking about like a Street Fighter. I've seen like Street Fighter anniversary collections, but I thought you were talking about just like a disc. I didn't realize it was
the big box set. It's like something that limited run games puts out now, where they just throw in as much random garbage into the box as they can. But I think having the documentary, having all of the animated shows, the animated movie, download codes for all of the old games, it really was a really good package. I think it was like $150 retail.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't find collector's editions for that cheap anymore.
I've never even heard of this. I'm really surprised that I've never heard of this. I've seen the 25th, I think it was 25th anniversary, you said, right?
Yeah.
I like the 25th anniversary controllers, because I believe those were released around the same time. The PS3 ones, you've seen those, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never heard of this. I gotta take a look at this later on. That's really cool.
Maybe you already have one and it's in the background somewhere, Wilson.
I don't.
Oh.
I don't know everything that I own. I try to keep track of it on this website I use called bgcollect.com. I've been using it for years. and I started using it once. All these apps that we're using, they would always go defunct, or they stop updating them. So I'd have to start from scratch. This website I've been using for over a decade now, at least close to a decade, and it's still just as good as it always was. So I'm usually pretty good with like what I have, especially with my CEs, my collector's editions. I'm pretty up to date on those, and I definitely don't have this. I've never even heard of this.
Cool. So if you guys had to pick one franchise that you wish would release like a really epic collector's edition of, what would that franchise be?
The obvious.
Like Zelda? Nice.
Zelda, absolutely. Like there's so much there. Like
it's interesting, they never released the anniversary edition, have they?
They did, yeah, on the GameCube.
Oh yes, but that was just a game though. They didn't really package it in with anything.
Yeah, but back in 2002, that was enough.
Okay, but hopefully in 2022 they come up with something different.
Yeah,
similar to like the Street Fighter 25th anniversary. That would be dope.
So you aren't satisfied with the Zelda Game and Watch?
Yeah, I was about to bring up the Game and Watch, because I want to say that's the first time I've ever seen Nintendo do something for the retro side. I know there's the GameCube one that's got the 4 games on it. Zelda, The Legend of Zelda, Link's Adventure, The Adventures of Link, Zelda 2, and then the 2 64 games, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. And honestly, playing those on the GameCube, they're very buggy. They're very glitchy. Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, especially.
Really?
Yeah, because I used to play them on the GameCube back in the day when I used to play that disc. But the Game and Watch, like that's really cool to have. It's got, what is that? It's got the Zelda 1, Zelda 2, and Link's Awakening, correct? Yeah, that's really cool. I don't think I've ever heard of anything for the retro games ever having a compilation of some sort. So that really appeals to me. And compared in contrast to the first Game & Watch that was released 2 years ago, I believe, for
the Mario one from last year.
Very, very different. Mario only had 1 game. No, 2 games, right?
Did it have the Lost Levels on it as well? I don't remember.
No, I think the Mario one only had Super Mario Brothers, I believe. So this Game & Watch for Zelda has like 3 different games. So I'm on board.
It's a much better package for sure.
What about you, John? What would be your like top game?
I mean, most of the franchises that I love have gotten anniversary collections. I mean, Mega Man has gotten so many anniversary collections. Like every 5 years, they put something up for Mega Man. And Contra just got one a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Where they put sort of the first half of the series. All the games that you need to play are in that one collection.
Yeah, the 2D ones.
Yeah. And I mean, the only thing missing from that is Shattered Soldier, and it's all right, I really liked the Mario 3-pack we got last year.
The All-Stars or whatever?
The 3D All-Stars,
yeah.
Where we had Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy. That's the one.
Yeah.
Like, I know that it could have been better. They could have included the second Galaxy. But as far as getting, those 3 games in high definition and getting to play on a Switch Pro controller instead of an N64 controller, I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah, was it? It was just the compilation.
Yeah. But it was
like a special edition that had some sort of like a figurine or something really cool. I mean, it's cool to replay those games back. But when I take a look at like anniversary editions or collector's editions, I really prefer some that have like, similar to that Street Fighter where you got a ton of content inside of the box.
Okay, I'm trying to think of a franchise that really deserves something like that hasn't gotten it.
Castlevania?
Castlevania has gotten that.
Castlevania has a good collection coming out right now.
Yeah,
Wait
Limited
till you
time games?
see. Yeah, I got the big one, the big what is it called? I
I
guess they
missed
want
out on that, man. It looks so sick. I missed out.
I think you can still get it, Robin.
Yeah?
you can get it.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Deep Pockets edition.
Is that what it's called?
No,
No,
but they're gonna do one for Contra soon, and I'll probably do that one.
I'll definitely jump on the Contra one as well. But yeah, I did grab the Castlevania one. Robin, I think it's available until Sunday. So you have
like lrg.com.
yeah,
Limited run games.
Yeah.
Now, even though we're talking about anniversaries and we're talking about collections and stuff, we forgot like a big one. And this wasn't just a single game or like a collection. This was a year. The Year of Luigi.
Oh.
John, why John mute himself?
I was trying to contain my excitement. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, the Year of Luigi. It was in 2013, and it was celebrating 30 years of the first appearance of Luigi. And I learned through my research that there was a really cool item as well that we never got, but Japanese people were able to get. But like, you know, like the Year of Luigi was I don't think Nintendo has ever done anything like that. It was really, really interesting. They had Super Luigi U, Super Luigi Wii U, New
Super Luigi Brothers U.
Yes, thank you. New Super Luigi Brothers U, which was a kind of like a different, like a B-side of New Super Mario Brothers U, Wii U, whatever, that had very, very quick levels, but they all had like lives for Luigi.
It was like a remix of New Super Mario Brothers U.
Yeah. There was Dr. Luigi? Yeah,
Dr. Luigi,
which was a different version of Dr. Mario. What else was there? Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, which I actually started playing this year, but I started having issues with I never even brought this up. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. My 3DS. For some reason, my 3DS doesn't register gyroscope controls. And I think that's a problem that people have with their 3DSs. I have like the new 3DS, so like the one that's got like the bigger screen and whatnot. But there's certain things you have to do with Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon that involve gyroscope, and I can't even do that.
Shit.
So I stopped playing it.
Jeez.
My plan was, because I played the first one, I wanted to play the second one and then move on to the third one. But I think I'm gonna have to go straight to the third one now, and I'm not too happy about that. I wanted to really finish Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Anyways, and also there was Mario and Luigi Dream Team, which was that a DS game?
It was a 3DS game.
3DS game. Thank you. Yeah, and that's part of the Mario Luigi series that are just an RPG. They're like a really neat, fun dialogue series of Mario and Luigi in an RPG style world. But here's the big one. Have you guys ever seen this before?
The suspense is killing me.
Oh, for the love of Christ. There we go.
One other thing I noticed they were doing is in Super Mario 3D World, they had hidden little sprites of like a small Luigi from Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, really?
So if you look in the backgrounds of the levels, there'll be little Luigis hidden around. And there's at least one where if you stomp on it, a bunch of coins shoot out. So it's like literally a Luigi Easter egg hunt in Super Mario 3D World.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just a cute little thing they did.
So in Japan, with the addition of Mario Luigi Dream Team, they also got this. This is the
that's nice.
Nintendo 3DS like Year of Luigi version. I have never seen that before.
I've never seen that either.
That's a great design.
It's kind of neat. I like the colors. But yeah, it's also got, if you see in the corner, it's got like a Mario and Luigi Dream Team thing as well. And maybe it's a download code. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's really cool. But yeah, I'm surprised we never got the opportunity to grab that. But a lot of times, the Japanese get they get some really cool offers that we miss out on. Like, do you remember the faceplate DS or 3DS? I don't think we ever got that over here.
I've never seen one.
No.
Yeah.
Cool. So it's a lot of interesting anniversary talks. I just checked out, and yes, you can still order Castlevania from Limited Run Games. So after this podcast is done, I'm gonna order that and not feel bad about it, and display it proudly with my Castlevania collection that's slowly growing, little by little. Never played a Castlevania game before, but I love the TV show.
Okay, what do you play? How many times do you hear this guy saying, "Never tried it"? Nope, never tried it.
I'm pretty new to gaming though. I feel like you guys have so much more experience when it comes to gaming than I do, because like I came to Canada in 1995, 96. Didn't get my first system until it was like 1998, and I had Sonic, and that was all I was playing for like 6 years. Because
I've got a really good trick that you could try using to play more games.
What is it?
Well, you take them out of the boxes. It works every time.
But what if they're encased in acrylic? Then what?
You get a hammer.
Yeah, man, get that hammer out. But being year 2021, do you know, like as Robin said at the beginning, there are 8 games that are celebrating anniversaries this year.
Oh, what we got? 2021 or 2020? You said
2021.
All right.
Yep. Well, I'll say Resident Evil is March 22nd. Was March 22nd, and it was their 25th anniversary. Go on, John.
I know Yacht Club Games put something on social media this week about it being Shovel Knight's 7th anniversary, which I know isn't a 5-year number, but
yeah,
you know, Shovel Knight has appeared in over 40 different games.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's kind of the darling of the indie world. I guess Yacht Club was really good about letting him out.
Well, Yacht Club kind of made indie bigger in a way. Shovel Knight was kind of just it was kind of like this huge success that encouraged others to make, to do their own indie games. Because I want to say before Shovel Knight, like there really wasn't any big games. Like people didn't know other indie studios, but when Yacht Club Games came out, with Shovel Knight, it kind of changed the whole scene. That's at least how I feel about it. I don't know.
Yeah,
John?
I mean, there were definitely indies, but they were way under the radar, like your Super Meat Boys, or shoot, I'm forgetting the name. Cave Story. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's good. That's funny.
Yeah, or these great indie titles that people didn't necessarily know about at the same scale as they would a Shovel Knight.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that having Shovel Knight in your game accomplishes 2 things. One thing, it's more exposure for Shovel Knight, but another thing, it's almost like a seal of approval. Like, hey, the guys at Yacht Club liked our game enough to lend us Shovel Knight. Our game must be pretty good too.
Yep.
So if you play a game and Shovel Knight's in it, the game's going to be, at least decent.
Have you tried their newest one? I don't know if they developed it. I think they just published it. It was like Cyber Ninja, I think it was called.
Cyber Shadow.
Cyber Shadow. Thank you.
Yeah, I know they assisted with the development. They found an indie title they really liked. I haven't tried it yet. I've been waiting for a physical edition to come out that I can take out of the box, and I'm this close to buying the digital as well, just because I don't want to wait any longer to play it.
And open it and take it out of the box.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you tried?
Destroy the resale value.
Yes.
You done Katana Zero yet?
Not yet. Same reason. Same thing.
Yeah, same thing as me. So yeah, besides what I said, Resident Evil, Street Fighter 2 is their 30th anniversary.
It's a big year.
Yep.
And actually, did you guys watch the presentation? It was about a month and a half ago for Dragon Quest.
Oh, this is all the remakes?
No, I think there was like some remakes, but then there was new games coming out as well. A lot of introductions to new games. Unfortunately, it looked like once again Japan is getting more than what we are, including some titles. Like there's a Dragon Quest online game. It's like MMORPG that's been huge over there for years. I think it started with Dragon Quest 9. No,
10.
Yes, 10. Thank you. It's Dragon Quest 10. And it's been this MMO for like years and years and years. Because now we're getting to Dragon Quest 12 coming out. We never got that. It's never been brought over here. And a lot of the announcements on the Dragon Quest anniversary video, it was like this half an hour, maybe 40-minute video of all these announcements, and a lot of them were regarding this like online RPG. There was like some mobile stuff going on. That was Japan as well. But there's some really cool games coming over here, like overseas to us. But it was their 35th anniversary on the 27th of May.
I saw that they're remaking the first couple of Dragon Quest games, but they're giving it the Octopath Traveler treatment.
I don't remember.
Yeah, they're doing the whole sprites on polygon backgrounds. Basically, it's going to look like a PS1 game.
I want to say it's just Dragon Quest 3. Maybe. You might be right, but I don't know. For some reason, 3 is popping in my head. And 3, for a lot of people, is like one of the most beloved ones. I think it was re-released on the Super Famicom. And it's also been on the DS.
No, Game Boy Color.
Game Boy Color?
Yeah. Game Boy Color.
So what did we get on the DS? Was it 4, 5, and 6?
4, 5, 6, and 9.
Not including the offshoots. There's also Dragon Slime and Monsters and Joker.
Yeah. Like Dragon Quest has a huge series, and for us to get it to start it off over here as Dragon Warrior, and now we've just kind of accepted Dragon Quest. That's pretty cool as well.
Well, I mean, Dragon Quest was so big in Japan, like compared to here. Like whenever a Dragon Quest game would come out, they would declare it a national holiday, so people could take the day off work and wait in line. We don't have that for anything here. I mean, when people will take the day off for Animal Crossing, but they have to sneak out of work.
Yeah.
The government doesn't just say, the hell with it. Yeah.
We're shutting down the economy for a day so you can go play video games, you nerds.
Yeah.
Well, if you've ever played a Dragon Quest game, like you can see that they put a lot of heart and a lot of love into their creations, just with how the world is like how open the world is, like all the diversity, all the areas, like all the secrets. There's a lot to love about a Dragon Quest game. So, happy 35th anniversary, Enix. Because Enix were the ones who did Dragon Quest in the beginning. And then, of course, that merger with Square, and it became Square Enix or Squeenix. But our next one, moving on, is Sonic the Hedgehog's 30th anniversary.
Nice. Sonic's younger.
That was yesterday.
Oh. Interesting.
Yep. Sonic's getting a little gray.
Yeah. I have grays. Sonic is going to get gray soon, too.
Yeah. I've got the gray. It's all in here. Crash Bandicoot, 25th anniversary, September 9th.
Interesting.
Tomb Raider is 25th anniversary. That's October 25th. Xbox and Halo, 20th anniversary, November 15th.
Nice.
Tomb Raider's a weird one, because I feel like the older she gets, the younger they draw her.
Yeah, it's true.
Like she looked like she was in her late 20s, early 30s in the first couple of games, and now she doesn't look a day over 17. It's weird.
Well, to be fair, it's more of a reboot. Like, yeah, she started getting older and older in like the earlier games until Angel of Darkness, I believe, kind of destroyed the franchise. It was terrible. It was supposed to be this revolutionary new Tomb Raider game with like all of these ideas at it. It was gonna have like RPG elements, but it was it was rushed. It was rushed out the door, and it just destroyed the franchise. It got terrible ratings. I've played it. I can see why it was terrible. It was glitchy. It was janky. There were certain areas you couldn't do until you did something else, like say lift something and move it out of the way to climb something else. Because once you lifted that thing, she'd say something like, "My arms feel stronger." Like you would have to do something. Yeah, you would have to do something to kind of build your stats. It was really, really stupid because it was so convoluted and cryptic. It was supposed to be just like open world kind of to go to like different areas, but you never knew where to go.
Isn't that kind of the opposite of the whole premise of the game? I mean, you want to go into an enclosed tomb.
Yeah, like
not an open world.
And it's funny, like the tombs were like there was always like underground. Like I think you were in London or France and you went underground, and yeah, there's like catacombs and shit and like, you know, stuff underground in these areas, but it just felt a little out of place. Like 1 minute you're in like the city and the next you're underground and you're like seeing all these like weird ancient areas that just look like they don't belong there at all. It also introduced this other guy, Curtis, who was like another character you could control in certain parts. He was going to have his own spin-off game. I think there was going to be a movie based off this game. Like they had all of these plans and it just went to shit. But after all of that, you know, they started doing these reboots. And once Square got a hold of the Tomb Raider franchise, because that's who does them now.
Well, I mean, Square acquired. Yeah. Well, no, they merged with Eidos.
I thought it was Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah, also with Eidos.
No. Yes. No. Yes,
yeah. No. Yes. It's like one great big monolith now. Not to be confused with Monolith Software. Yeah. Square, Enix, Eidos, Crystal Dynamics, Taito are all like under one umbrella now.
Oh wow, Taito too.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
So whenever a game comes out with the Square Enix label on it, you have to ask yourself, is this a Square game or is this an Eidos game? You know, like a Watch Dogs, that's definitely an Eidos game. That's not a Square game.
That's Ubisoft.
Is it Ubisoft?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking of the other one. Murdered Soul Suspect.
Oh.
That one. Yeah. That was an Eidos game.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna say like Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah.
Anything on that list, Wilson, or
sorry?
Were there any other big anniversaries on that list?
Well, just the one for this year. Like, if you want to talk about the ones that are for this year, 2021.
Pokemon.
Yeah, is that the only one you know?
That's the only one I know.
Well, there are others. Says there are 4. Yeah, Pokemon's one of them. Donkey Kong.
Nice.
Donkey Kong's 40th anniversary. So it's close to the same.
One of the big boys.
Yeah. For sure. And Metroid's 35th anniversary.
Nice.
So that means also Rad Racer's 35th anniversary.
Oh wow! Speaking of Square, that's another Square game.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. It was like close to one of their first ones back on the Nintendo. And I love Rad Racer. Rad Racer is still a lot of fun.
It holds up.
Sorry?
It holds up.
Oh, it does. And the music is just, I'm hearing it in my head right now, and I'm just jamming to the beat in my head right now. There's three different tracks you can choose from, but I love I'm still picturing the first one.
Kid Icarus was in '86.
Oh really?
Yeah, all those Silver Label Nintendo games are the same year.
Oh, okay. I've never played properly Kid Icarus. I know Kid Icarus is people think it's like this kind of platformer game. I think you're supposed to play it a little bit differently than a platformer. Also another kind of cryptic game.
Yeah.
Never really understood it, and I never went back to it once I knew kind of how to play it. You ever played Kid Icarus, Robin?
Nope. Add that to my list of games I haven't tried yet. For me, it's like PS2 onwards. That's been my jam. PS4 is where I play a lot of my games. Funnily enough.
I swore you said something else. I thought you said penis is one word or something like that.
PS4.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Kid Icarus is kind of neat. Like how it went from like this platformer to now, before Kid Icarus joined the Smash Brothers team, they did this like 3DS release, and it became like a shoot 'em up in a way, like a shmup. Well, more like a line. What do you call those? Line scrollers? Oh my god. What do you call them? Kind of like House of the Dead. What would you call that?
An arena shooter?
No. Line scrollers, line fighters.
Gallery shooter?
No.
The shooter.
God, my mind is just not working right now. Line game line. It's line something. It's gonna come to me eventually. But
September is the 20-year anniversary of Advance Wars, and there's a reboot of that coming out.
Are you excited for that?
I've actually never played an Advance Wars game.
I played a game that you haven't played. Yes.
Wait, you played Advance Wars?
Yeah, on the Game Boy Advance.
You son of a bitch. That's not fair. You are not supposed to have played a game that neither of us have played.
See? I'm turning the tables on you guys.
The world's
I love my tactics-based games.
The world's going to implode. I hope you're happy with that.
I am 100% happy about that.
It's also October will be 20 years since Pikmin.
Oh, wow.
This is another tactics game. Max Payne, December
That's actually a
2001.
really fun game. I enjoyed that on the PS2.
Super Monkey Ball is getting an anniversary release.
Rail shooter. That's the word I was thinking.
Rail shooter, okay.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Rail shooters are games where you kind of follow the path. Like it forces you to keep moving, and you just kind of move yourself around.
So it's like a gallery shooter.
Yeah, but gallery shooter is more like you're in a static area and things are just coming by.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we covered a lot of anniversary topics over the course of the past hour. We've just hit our 1 hour marker on this episode. We got to talk about anniversaries. We got to share anniversaries that we ourselves would be excited about, and hopefully provide people with some more in-depth knowledge of all of the different great franchises that are out there. And we also talked a lot of smack about Ultima, or at least I did.
Yeah, seriously. If people who enjoy retrospectives, check out Spoonie One. I'm pretty sure he still has a website, or he might even still have his YouTube page. He does a lot of really, really cool things, but his Ultima retrospective over 7 or 8 videos is really, really good. I believe he does talk about the Super Nintendo ones as well in a side video, but I really, really enjoy it. And I'm sure in another year or two, I'm going to watch it all over again.
Awesome. So it was a great episode. Thanks for joining us once again, John. And we will see you guys in 2 weeks for episode 23.
All right.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Bye.